You found us.
Welcome to Emergency Protocol, a podcast for people who are stressy and depressy.
We are your hosts,
Denise
and Jackie Freed. That's my mama.
And that's my baby.
We are sharing our 12 steps reimagined for today's society.
And our bumpy, pothole-ridden spiritual paths.
And we're bringing you along for the ride.
This is us doing the actual work.
When the shit hits the fan, you know it's time for Emergency Protocol. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm here. The horrors persist, and so do we.
But it's snowing and sunny outside where you are, so you're having the really kind of, I don't know what that is.
Whimsical day outside.
Yeah, for us in SoCal where it's, I think, 70 degrees outside. Wait, I don't know. Let me look real quick. It is 74 and sunny.
Nice.
January hit.
Yes.
I was driving to a meeting last Thursday, and I was going to dinner first, so it was like, I was just leaving the office, and it was around 5:15, and the sun was just going down, and all these people were walking to Palisades Park in Santa Monica to watch the sun, and it was just like that last little bit of sun before it hits the horizon. I forget how beautiful it is here. I forget, like, oh my God, I get to live here. There's all these people who've saved up all their money to come and see that. And I totally take it for granted that I get to live in this really beautiful place that has amazing weather.
Yeah. I mean, taking time to appreciate it. You're not taking it for granted.
No, I did take some time to appreciate it, but it was just so beautiful. I just don't remember to go down and look at the beach enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, literally 2 blocks from my office.
Yeah. But that's a thing, right? Like the grass is always greener. Like wherever you go, presumably, like you still have to work and do laundry and wash your dishes and
yeah. Life be lifin'.
Life be lifin'. Okay.
I heard that more than a couple of times.
Bad. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Correct. Yeah. We're going to review our steps today, right?
Yeah. So in the beginning, in the way back when we were figuring out what we were doing, you and I were just having conversations around how these 12 steps could help you and me, but you were guinea pigging to see if they would help with your anxiety and depression, right? Mm-hmm. And then we discovered that the language wasn't working for you. Mm-hmm. And as you voiced that, I realized the language really hadn't worked for me. I mean, that's not true. The language does work for me. And I think there's some real magic in the original, like, AA steps, right? But the essence of those steps still, even in the beginning, when I first got sober 40 years ago, felt very patriarchal and very religious, which they, and so you and I started to work on how I've internalized these steps in my work with myself and others over these last few years, and to make it more palatable for you to digest and use. And so that's what we came up with. 12 steps for everyone.
Yes. 12 steps for everyone.
So people who don't have to be alcoholic or addicted or gambler or have issues with food or people. Well, I don't know anybody who doesn't have issues with people.
Yeah.
If you live
Yes,
in this
correct.
world and you're not a hermit in like some faraway land, and maybe even
Yeah.
if you are, the issue would be with yourself, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So the
Yeah.
human condition does not escape anyone. And so you and I wrote these steps together.
Hmm. Yeah.
So do you want me to read them? Do you want to read them?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
you can read them. Go
All
for it.
right. So the 12 steps for everyone. One, we are not okay. We have not been okay. We're not getting better on our own. Two, we believe we are worthy of getting better and that things will get better. Three, we decide to trust that something bigger is taking care of us. Four, with courage, honesty, and curiosity, we write the stories of the fears, shame, and resentments we carry with us. Five, with vulnerability and integrity, we share this inventory with someone safe and trustworthy. Six, we trust that we will be guided to recognize thoughts and behaviors that no longer serve us or the greater good. Seven, our actions are based in humility and in the service of our highest and best selves. Eight, we list each of the harms we've caused that require amends. Nine, we seek healing for the wounds we've caused through direct amends, except when doing so would cause further harm. 10, we maintain a daily practice of reflection, amends, and forgiveness. 11, we welcome mindfulness, grace, and gratitude into our thoughts and behaviors. 12, awakened to our higher selves, we apply this practice and share our experience, strength, and hope with others. I love
Yeah.
those, and I can see how some of that would be confusing for somebody hearing it for the first time because I know how they're applied in my life
Hmm.
and they leave a lot of interpretation. And the coolest
Hmm.
part about any 12 step thing is that there is no authority. There's nobody telling you how to do it or how it has to be done or what you need to do or
Yeah.
not do to have it work for you. So that's the fun part is everything is open to anybody's interpretation of how that applies to them.
Yes. And a lot of people have a lot of feelings about how to work a program and what that means for behavior change. So, yeah, in theory, yes.
I,
And also,
I am one
there's
of
a,
those. I am one of those people who has opinions about how things are.
you weren't even who I was thinking of just now, but sure.
For instance, I have opinions about California sober, right?
Right.
Because
Hmm.
for me, sobriety has always been about like nothing from the neck up, right?
Hmm.
So like I can't ingest a gummy and say I'm sober for
Hmm.
my own definition of my own sobriety.
Hmm.
But that's based in my own personal experience of when I know that I've ingested something, then I already feel like, well, I've already ingested something. So if you give a mouse a cookie, I might want some milk to go with it, right? And
She
so
might want a little key bump to go with it.
I might want something, right? And
Mm,
so it's a slippery slope for someone like me who will literally, that ingestion triggers
mm,
the obsession and compulsion to have more and more and more. And I
hmm.
don't always have in my power the ability to stop.
Yeah.
So that is, for me, it's not worth the gummy to take an edge off a particularly bad day.
Mm,
And with the potential of like going down a road where I can't get back to sobriety. And
Mm,
that's also based in a lot of my own personal experience of getting sober, then not being sober, and then trying to get back, and also seeing many, many people either claw their way back after a few years of being out there or never getting back and ending up actually dying from this disease. And I just like, you know
hmm.
what? It's not worth it's not worth it. The little the little bump is not worth it. Like I'll go meditate
Yeah.
and I'll go help somebody. I'll find other ways to change my internal bummer into something more
Yeah.
positive. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's an
Yeah.
example of
Hmm.
and that's my own thought and my own thing and that's okay. And there are people who
Yeah.
are self-proclaimed California sober and good for you. If that's working for you, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. But you can interpret like a higher power however you want. That's universally true, right?
Right.
There's no specific religion tied to a 12-step program
No.
or like any kind of spiritual belief.
No. And
And
we
that's
put that
true here
in a
as
some
well.
yeah, into something bigger instead of higher power. We purposely
Hmm.
chose something bigger. We did put something and bigger in a capital letter
Yeah.
to
Yes.
say it is something bigger, right?
Hmm.
Which, for me was the Pacific Ocean, still can be the Pacific Ocean sometimes when I look at the immense vastness of it or
Hmm.
nature, like, that sunset the other night. And that's what I really was kind of observing in my drive up Ocean Avenue was people really like just drawn to that beauty of
Hmm.
nature and the awe that it inspires in people.
Yeah.
Just that this the sun going down and the beauty of the sun going down over the ocean and how it
Yeah.
draws people to stop and wonder at the beauty of nature. That's something
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a universal human experience, I feel like, right? Because, you know, the sun rises and sunsets everywhere.
Yeah, every day.
Hmm. Yeah.
So anyway, so where are you on this little
Journey.
step journey? I'm trying to figure out what step I
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on this week.
I feel like what I focus on depends on what we talk about each week in our meeting, right? Like consciously or unconsciously, that seeps into just like how I'm living my life or thinking about things or framing things. So I'd say probably like one of the best things from doing this work is having a regular meeting to go to where I can just show up at any time and having that same consistency. And it's a lot of the same people every week, but sometimes it's not. And just being able to like engage and stay in touch with people in that way and have a place to like show up and talk about it or process things is really valuable. And I think it's just informing my behavior in more unconscious ways. Like I feel like I'm moving through the world in a little bit of a different way now with this work in mind. Yeah, particularly around like behaviors and amends. And I think I say this a lot, but a lot of my amends as somebody who's had a lot of dark and scary thoughts over the years and struggles with depression and anxiety and daily functioning, a lot of my amends are to myself, like living amends, right? And it's taken a long time to get to a place where I can even be like aware of that and also execute on it. So that feels really good. And it's a lot. Yeah, I think I give myself more grace now than I did, which is also part of, I think, maybe maturing and growth in general. But yeah, that's where I'm
Yeah.
at.
I mean, I'm always in step 10, but I really feel
Mm,
like right now is a and it's maybe January, right? Reflection, amends, and forgiveness. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how do I show up as my best self? I've got a lot going on with a lot of different avenues in my life right now with my parents, with my husband, with work. There's so much change and things going on that it's like, how do I show up and allow other people to have their experience of what they're
Mm-hmm.
going through without having to fix it for them or minimize, you know, stresses, or how do I
Yeah.
where I can be of service and also not be of service, not to my own detriment, and also be respectful of like everybody's just having their own experience. I led my first sales meeting in my office this week, and it's 1 year after the fires. And as I
Yeah.
said that, when we were talking about some other changes that are happening at my company, and I said, we're 1 year out, like this time last year, and I got really emotional, like tears just welled up in my
Mm.
eyes because it was like this was a heavy year for where we
Yeah.
are in the world in so many ways, but particularly, where we are geographically next to this whole, you know, area that burned up a year ago
Yeah.
and where people are. And so, it felt good to honor that, and it felt good to be vulnerable in front of everybody. And it was a packed house. I think there was probably 100
Yeah.
people at the meeting this week, and
Mm.
because we had a special guest speaker talking about how things are getting
Mm.
rebuilt in the Palisades in Altadena. And
Mm.
it was hopeful, but it was also like, I want to acknowledge it was not, it was heavy. It was hard.
Yeah.
And it's still heavy and hard. And people went through holidays this year having a hard time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I went in and I have everything all packed up and I need to put it all back in the closet over here. But I was like, oh, like a lot of people didn't have their ornaments to go do,
Yeah.
like just those little things where you go to reach for something that's no longer there and have your
Yeah.
whole world like that. I don't even know how do you reconcile with that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, and also I realized too that I really enjoy being in-person meetings. I think
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of big book workshops while you girls were growing up, and
Mm-hmm.
that was my one meeting a week that I got to, and I didn't really go to more than that because there just wasn't time for more than that, and Zoom wasn't a thing. And now I have,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of Zoom meetings a week, but I went to three, which is a lot, three additional meetings, actually four in the last week and a half. I can say it's measurable in my attitude and outlook on life by how
Mm-hmm.
much I go to a meeting where I don't know, where I can connect with people. And then I started
Mm-hmm.
thinking about the importance of finding the right meeting that has a cool vibe for it, right? Like I went to
Mm-hmm.
two very different meetings in 1 week, one where
Yeah.
the the oldest cake in the room, which is a cake we give out for people celebrating 1 full year of sobriety. The oldest one was 4 years, and then that was on a Thursday night, and then
Mm-hmm.
on Sunday afternoon, I went to a different meeting where the youngest cake was 25. And
Mm.
so having those very different groups, both
Yeah.
in age, like literal age and sobriety age,
Mm-hmm.
was equally cool, and
Yeah.
fun in different ways. And so I realized like I also really want to be intentional. I feel like this year I'm approaching my year more intentionally in that what is
Mm-hmm.
it that makes me feel good and fills up my cup and brings me
Mm-hmm.
joy, And also, like, where do I need to step up and speak out and say, like, no, this is not unacceptable, right? So, like, there's
Yeah.
this yin yang thing going on I think in everybody's world right now, where we're looking for joy, but
Yeah.
also realizing, like, shit is hitting the fan and we need to maybe be a little uncomfortable with how we are showing up as a nation
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
people who, you
Mm-hmm.
know, live together.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just a
Just
Saturday
some
over here.
stuff.
Just some
Yeah.
stuff.
Just some
Yeah, it's like
things.
when you think about that, it's like, there's a lot. It's like, works,
Mm-hmm.
your school, there's just like you want to be responsible and pay your bills and also
Mm-hmm.
like stand up for people who can't go out of their house right now because it's not safe for them to do so. And that's,
Yeah.
you know, people who are calling things out are not also not safe right now. And
Mm-hmm.
yet at a certain point, we can't ignore history. History
Mm-hmm.
does show us the way forward. And so, both in the good and bad ways, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you
Yeah.
can see what tyranny looks like and acts like, and you can say, oh, that is exactly what happened in history. And this is how it was
Mm-hmm.
overcome.
Yeah. Yeah. I think also too that's true on an individual level as well about like repeating history. I think the I've been viewing things that way a lot lately, like microscope and telescope, right? Zooming really far in and really far out and recognizing that like the things that I'm not separate from my environment, the things that I do ripple out and vice versa. And like not to be too woo-woo, but like there's an energetic exchange that happens between me and everything around me. So yeah, I guess just like also being mindful of that and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The mindfulness, grace, and gratitude, I think, has just been very present for me.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
Same. And that's the
Hmm.
beauty of this. It's like, these steps really give me some guardrails to live my life by, right? So it's like if I'm
Hmm.
feeling twitchy, which in traditional 12-step rooms is restless, irritable, and discontent. And
Hmm.
I can often feel that way. What is it that I need to do to kind of like get out of myself? It's usually because I'm way too
Hmm.
focused on myself, right? So I need to find a different way to show up. And so,
Yeah.
usually my first thing is like go to a meeting, then you can hear
Hmm.
people and like laugh together and cry together and gasp together and all of the things that you do when people are sharing their their humanity from in
Yeah.
public. And then being of service to others is like my surefire
Hmm.
way. Like if nothing else will get me out, I can always go and help somebody. And by helping somebody, that might be as simple as calling a friend who I know is having
Hmm.
a hard time, just saying, hey, I'm just thinking about you.
Hmm. Or
Or,
picking up the phone when someone calls,
yeah, or picking
even
up
if your like first
uh,
instinct is to not.
right. Or to write a little note and send it in the mail.
Hmm.
People love getting little love notes because we don't get mail
Yeah.
anymore. And it's really nice to get a piece of mail. I saw you posted something where your friends had sent you some things in the mail,
Yeah.
right? And it's like,
So cute.
right. And it's just like a delight and surprise to like
Yeah.
see that there's somebody who was thinking about me a week ago enough to like do something physical and send it to me knowing it was going to be a delayed thing rather than a DM or a heart
Yeah.
emoji or one of those things. It was like a tangible physical thing that I could touch and feel. somebody's
Yeah.
love that got sent to me through the mail,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And it doesn't have to cost much. A postcard will do.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like despite all of everything, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I'm in a really good place. I'm in a really place where I feel good in my skin. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not easy and it's not all just like Pollyanna, but
Mm-hmm.
I do. There's somebody brought up Pollyanna. They're like, yeah, I'm trying to be a Pollyanna, although I don't even know what Pollyanna really is. And I was like, you never saw Pollyanna? And then
I
I
saw
and I was
Pollyanna.
like, it's like this little girl who's like la, 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 and he goes, sounds like probably one of those early racist Disney movies. And I was like, I'll probably have to watch it again now and see if
Yeah.
that is, how some of
Yeah.
these
If it aged
translate.
well.
Yeah, some don't age
Yeah.
well. So I'm saying Pollyanna, don't know if it aged well, but if you
Yeah.
don't know what it is, this little girl is always making people look on the bright side of life. And they
Mm.
come to see her as like, oh God, here she comes with her bright and sunny
Mm-hmm.
outlook. Like,
Yeah.
get out of here. You know?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
there's something to be said for having a bright and sunny outlook because you
Mm-hmm.
bring that energy into every room you walk into, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And you can find a balance between that and like toxic positivity, where like you just kind of disregard people's feelings or,
Right.
like I also I don't like when the people I care about are uncomfortable. So my first instinct is always to be like, I'm so sorry that that happened. Like, what can I do for you? Like, how do we fix this? What do you need? And like, people don't always know what they need.
Yeah.
And part of also the mindfulness, grace, and gratitude is I have to actually listen to that and trust what when they say, I don't know what I need, but when I do, I'll let you know that they will let me know and let me show up for them on their time in the way that they need and not to center like myself or my desire to be a helper and like alleviate their discomfort, right?
Right. And I can get woo woo on stuff. And,
Mm-hmm.
like someone I know had a death in their family,
Mm,
and I has been struggling with the grief of that. And I was like,
mm,
I don't know if you how woo woo you want to get, but here's the name and number of a medium I talk to, like once a year, just to
yeah,
like call in whoever I need to call in. Usually my brother, but you never
yeah,
know who's going to show up. And they talked to this person and said it
mm,
was super helpful because this person knew
mm,
things that there was no possible way they could have
yeah,
known. And there's some healing in that where
yeah,
you become aware that even though they're not physically here, they're still able to communicate
yeah,
with you. And that is kind of a cool and healing kind of thing. And
yeah.
there's ways that they can come through and tell you things
Mm-hmm.
that kind of change your point of view of
Mm-hmm.
how you thought things were versus how things were for
Yeah.
them, right? And so anyway, so there's all different kinds of ways to find healing in this world, and
Mm-hmm.
I love that I get to live in California where it's not too far out to do shit like that when you need a little something,
Yeah.
and I actually have her on my calendar for next weekend.
Oh?
I usually talk to this
Mm.
woman once a year, and I usually call in my brother. Like that's who I usually
Mm.
want to talk to. But this year I want to talk to my grandma.
Mm.
I know.
I miss grandma.
I miss my grandma. I miss
Yeah.
her directness and her like unapologetic,
Mm-hmm.
unflinching commentary is like, and as she got older, it became more and more like she just
Unhinged. Yes.
yes. And
Yeah.
I would just love to hear what she's thinking about with all of what's going on
Yeah.
right now. So we'll let you know next time how that went.
Yes. Yeah. One thing that I definitely want to do this year too is like every year we've been pulling from this kind of like a tarot deck, but a little bit different. And so I want to try to just like reflect on that more consistently. Like I feel like I do good at the
Mm.
beginning and the end of the year. And at the end of the year, I kind of look back and try to map it on that way. But maybe I'll revisit the cards every
Oh,
month and see, like look for it from the beginning instead of in hindsight and see if that feels different. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah. And the other thing that I realized too about myself and just, the things that I feel like I want to do and then the things that I do and the things that
Hmm.
get done, I realize how important it is to calendar my extracurriculars, right?
Yeah.
So like if it doesn't get in my calendar, it
Hmm.
does not happen.
No.
And so early in my working career, the two ladies I work for taught me about that big rocks idea of like putting your big rocks in the jar first,
Mm.
right? So like one of my coworkers, I think last week I couldn't remember what the four F's were, but it's faith, family, fitness, and finance, right? So those are
Mm.
his four. But where I was when he told me that it was like fuck, fuck, fuckity, and fuckity fuck, right? I was just like
Hmm.
not in a good place.
No.
And so when he said that to me, I was just like, those aren't the four F's? Like, no.
Yeah.
Um, so I wrote down a bunch of stuff that I thought I wanted for not resolutions, but actually decisions of how I want to live this year. I
Hmm.
haven't made the time to revisit it and then look at it.
Hmm.
Then what I've decided is I really want to look at what I wrote down and feel it internally. Does it bring me energy or does it take me energy? So I'll never do the things that I write down that feel bad. I'm not doing them. So I'm not
Yeah.
going to even, those are going to come off the list if there's anything there.
Mm.
And then what is there then needs to get calendared because
Hmm.
if it doesn't get in there,
Yeah.
forget about it. And I'm looking at my meetings that way too. So like, I was like, maybe I
Hmm.
want to add those two meetings to my rotation. Like,
Hmm.
where maybe not every week, but at least twice a
Yeah.
month, I'm hitting some places that I know will bring me some joy and some goodness and not go to the meetings that are like, whatever. It was
Yeah.
okay. So I'm really trying to be aware of that and
Mm.
also planning my trip. So in the Big Rock idea, revisiting that. So you have this jar, right? And you put your big rocks in there. So like for me, big rocks would include vacations, right? So
Hmm.
what would happen if you don't put that vacation time and plan in place,
Hmm.
then by the time it comes around, I haven't set aside the money for it. I don't think I can
Hmm.
afford it. I don't make the time for it. It's never a
Hmm.
good time to just take off. And now I don't go on that trip, right? So
Yeah.
one more year, that bucket list gets moved into the next year's bucket list. And so
Hmm.
it never gets checked. And so putting those rocks in there and calendaring that, then I can throw in the smaller rocks of like work and family and the things that I just do, right? But
Hmm.
then there's room for pebbles, and then,
Hmm.
then there's still room for sand.
Hmm.
And then on top of all that, I can add water, and it all still fits in the
Hmm.
jar.
Hmm.
Whereas if
Yeah.
I started with the water,
Hmm.
there's no room for anything else, right? And so
Yeah.
really like looking at life through that measurement of
Mm.
like what's important first and
Yeah.
putting those in the jar feels important to me. And so it's like, oh,
Yeah.
what trip do I want to take this year? Like
Hmm.
do I want to do the book group tour? like, they're going somewhere, which we did before and it was a
Mm-hmm.
great trip, but is that what I want to do this year? I don't know. And then so
Mm.
I'm questioning all of the things that I would normally just like, oh yeah, that sounds fun. Let's do that. And
Yeah.
actually measuring it against this list of decisions
Mm-hmm.
that I want to honor
Yeah.
so that I
Yeah.
feel like I'm having a more purposeful, meaningful, and fulfilling life this
Mm-hmm.
year,
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah.
that feels super cool. Like that's a whole new way of
Awesome.
thinking about the new year for myself. So,
Yeah. Nice.
anyway,
Oh,
I know.
all these
Um,
new tricks.
right? I don't even know
Yeah.
I don't know how it all came together, but that's what this year's feeling like.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Cool.
next year, at the end of the year, we'll see. Did it work?
Yeah. I was just thinking that. I wasn't sure if that would be mean to be like, stay tuned for next year. We'll see if we actually did any of this shit. But, this is good accountability.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. One thing I'm trying to do, I am not very good with like meal planning or prepping. I go through phases where I get obsessed with one dish for 1 or 2 months and then I burn out of it and then I move on to the next thing. And I can't, I don't enjoy eating the same thing every day, even though that would ease my mental burden of trying to figure out what to feed myself every day, because I do have to do that. And I really like food, but just the act, like going through the motions of it is sometimes feels exhausting just thinking about it. So I'm trying to automate as much as possible if I can. And I did a deep dive during winter break into iPhone shortcuts and NFC tags. And yeah, so when you like tap your phone and like your Apple Wallet comes up,
Yeah.
I think it's similar technology to that, where like if you hold your phone near the read like the chip that's in a little tag usually, or sometimes it's like a little strip, you can program it to like run a automation on your phone.
What do you mean?
So mhm. What I
NFC.
have, NFC, I don't remember what it stands for. I'm baby tech, not like this is not, I'm not a
Okay.
tech wizard, right? So this is just how I've implemented it. But there's a lot of people who are really into this who have created shortcuts and then shared them too. So you can always like Google it and find other, if you're trying to find like a pathway to do a task that you want to do, but you don't know how to program it, chances are like somebody has programmed that or something similar that you can find. So I found one that I turned into a like skincare recording automation. So I put it on my bathroom mirror, and when I tap my phone at night, it automatically pulls up a like series of questions, and I can mark off what skincare I did that night, and then it saves it to a record in my notes app. And then I can go back and look and be like, man, did I use my retinol last night? If I did, I shouldn't use my retinol tonight. I should do something else. And it helps
Mm.
ease that because I don't want to have a bunch of checklists on my in my bathroom or on my mirror, right? But that's the only other way that I could think to keep track of things. Because yeah.
Interesting.
So I'll report back on that as well.
All
See if
right.
it goes well.
I love
Yeah.
that. I'm working on something similar with my staff,
Mm,
which it's like
NFC
a
tags.
little secret project, but
Okay.
we're working on something similar
Mm,
with them that I'm kind of leading with them to
cool.
help them not have to use brain power every time somebody asks them a question.
Mm,
So we're coming up
nice.
with we're utilizing AI in a notebook to help
Mm,
solve for that, which would be interesting. Especially,
yeah.
and I have so many feelings around we could do a whole thing on AI.
We probably have.
I just finished the book Culpability, which
Oh
was
yeah.
oof. And
Mm,
I also read this book called Careless People, also
mm,
oof.
hmm.
And I did something else, a couple other ones, I think searchable or
You're in a
stuff.
nonfiction phase.
I've been in a nonfiction. Culpability is a fictional book, but
Mm,
it's layered with a lot of applicable AI stuff.
Mm,
And anyway, it's just fascinating to me how it can be used for good and can be used for bad. And then I'm also like,
mm-hmm,
how much electricity am I burning up right now? Like there's just, it's
mm-hmm.
like, it's kind of exhausting living in this world. But
Yeah.
again, 12 steps for everyone helps me kind of do it and that I
Mm-hmm.
don't fucking like spark out.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's non-AI ways to automate too. Like that's what a
Yeah.
checklist is. That's what a workflow is. That's
Yeah.
what like
Yeah.
people why HR has training binders, right?
Right.
Like, but I've never really tried to apply that in my personal life. So yeah,
Cool.
maybe it'll help.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Stay tuned.
drink your water.
Drink your water. I need to drink I barely had any water today.
You can put
I
that on your,
did.
what is it called?
My
NF,
NFC.
NFC. Drink
Uh,
water.
yeah. I did make a rule anytime I see somebody holding a water bottle or taking a sip that I need to take a sip, and that's been somewhat helpful.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Yeah. I did find a sticker that said it said tombstone. It said did not drink enough water at a bookstore the other day. So maybe I need to put that somewhere highly visible.
Did you buy it?
Yeah, so of course I bought it. Yeah. It'll find its home. Yeah. Funny.
All right.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sure. All right.
Okay.
If you're not driving,
Mm-hmm.
close your
Or doing
eyes.
something else that requires full
Requires,
presence.
yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Physical, visible safety. Close your eyes. Think about what you are grateful for
Mm-hmm.
and just take a deep breath in and exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kiddoke.
Yay.
We'll see you
Okie
in two
dokie.
weeks.
Okay.
Well, I'll see you before then. I mean, I'll see
Yeah.
you.
I was like,
Well,
but
our
you
our
all
people,
in yeah, our listeners.
our 12 listeners.
Have listeners.
Actually, we are almost, and I think we'll have to have some sort of like whoop whoop. We're almost
Yeah.
at 5,000 downloads. We're like literally
Mhm.
just a smidgen away. So I don't know who y'all are, but if you want to come and talk to us on a Saturday at 10 o'clock, we're here. And you can sign up in
Yeah.
our link on our website, 12 Steps for Everyone, and we'll send you the link. We don't just post it everywhere because who knows
Mhm.
who is listening or
Yeah.
whatever. People are weird out there. But if you're interested, it's a small, like literally, could be 4 people, could be more than 4 people, but whatever.
Hmm.
We're there. Come talk to us. We want to hear from you. We're
Yeah.
here for you. And it's cool.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. So
Yeah.
Saturdays at 10, new time.
Yes. New time. Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Peace out.
Love you. You're a miracle.
Bye.
We want to hear from you.
Find us on Instagram and TikTok at 12 Steps for Everyone. That's at the number 12 Steps for Everyone.
Please like and follow us. You can also send us topics you want us to dig into or follow-up questions from each episode.
And if you know someone who would enjoy or benefit from our conversations, please feel free to share this with them. All are welcome here.